How do you make money with a 3-on-3 league business? That's what I want to talk to you about today. My husband and I run Midwest 3-on-3. It's a 3-on-3 basketball league business in Minnesota, and we've been doing this since 1997. And it didn't start out making us tons of money, but it grew over time, and eventually he was able to leave his full-time teaching and coaching job, and I have scaled back to half-time teaching. And what I want to share with you today is exactly how you can make money with a 3-on-3 league business. And if you've heard me talk at all before, you've heard me say this, and I'm just going to emphasize it again. In order to make money doing this, you have to make sure that you are putting out a good product. Nothing is more powerful and more important than having your league participants go out into the community and talk about how awesome it is to play in your 3-on-3 league. And the opposite of that is true. If you're putting out a mediocre product, or a bad product, people are going to go out in the community and spread the word on that, and then you're not going to make money. So number one thing, if you want to make money doing 3-on-3 leagues of any kind, whatever sport you're doing, you have to put out a good product. All right, so let's talk about the ways that you can actually make money doing this. So first of all, and most obvious, is that you're going to charge teams money to play in your league, and that's how you're going to make some money, right? Now, I get asked often, how much should I charge for my 3-on-3 league? And I can't give you a specific answer for that, and it's obviously going to change over time anyway. So I'm going to give you some advice. You need to be the expert in your community. You need to know what families and parents are willing to pay for their kids to be in something like this. And I want you to think about something here as you're pricing this. Let's just say that you're going to run a 3-on-3 league and you're going to make a $10,000 profit. Okay, that's where you're going to end up, at a $10,000 profit. Is it better for you to get to that $10,000 by charging a high price and having fewer teams in your league, or by charging a low price and having more teams play in your league? Okay, and I know this might be counterintuitive to what you're already maybe doing if you're running some sort of coaching or training where you charge a premium price and have fewer clients. With a 3-on-3 league, you want to price it so that you can maximize the number of teams that play in your league, because that's going to offer the best competition. And as you're building your schedule, you're going to have lots of teams to choose from for teams to play. You don't want to have so few teams that you have to have a 4th grade team play a 7th grade team or something. That's not going to be a good experience. So we want as many teams as possible in our league. So if that means we have to price the league a little bit lower to do that, then that's what you want to do. But you're going to have to know your market and know what the going rate is for kids to be in sports in your community. Make this something that's really easy for families and parents to say yes to, because they're already doing so many things with their kids. This just needs to be an easy yes when they see it. Now, as you're kind of like trying to work through the numbers here, I created a tool that will be really useful for you, and I've linked that below. It's the estimated profit calculator, and what that will do, download it, and what that will do for you is you can plug in some different variables, things like how much are you going to have to pay for your facility, or how much are you going to pay your staff. If you're providing t-shirts, how much is that going to cost per player? How much are you going to charge per team? How many teams do you think you're going to get? And at the very end, you're going to get your estimated profit out of that. So play with that. That will help you a little bit kind of figuring out that price point for your league. Now, aside from the obvious way to make money with registrations for your league, what else can you do to make money with 3-on-3 leagues? So you can add some upsells within your registration. You have to be careful with this, but here's an example of something that we do that generates a lot more money for us, and that is by offering the upsell of a dry fit shirt. So we provide t-shirts to every player in our league, but then they have the option to pay a little bit more to get a dry fit shirt, which a lot of players prefer instead of a t-shirt. So that's just a logical upsell to add in to the registration. Don't be weird with this. Don't be slimy. Don't put weird upsells in your registration. They need to make sense to what your, customer's all about. So for example, if you already are offering maybe like individual or small group training sessions, maybe offering some sort of deal with that in your 3-on-3 league registration makes sense. It needs to be, it needs to make sense. Don't be gross with this. Another thing that you can do to make money is get sponsorships. And with sponsors, they're going to pay you money, and then you can put their logo on the backs of t-shirts or on your website, or you can do social media posts, include them in emails. You can let them come on site and hand out things or whatever it is that might be beneficial to that sponsor. But be careful with this too. This isn't easy. You just don't go up to someone and they give you money to be a sponsor. You've got to nurture this relationship. A little bit of work goes into getting sponsors. And if you can find sponsors who are adding value somehow to your customers, it just makes a lot more sense. Again, so don't be weird about this and have sponsors that just don't make sense with what you're offering with your league. Another thing that you can do is offer tournaments, like maybe a 3-on-3 tournament, or maybe some camps that use the 3-on-3 model in them. And these are things that you can work on. I wouldn't do these right away because I want you to be really, really good at your number one, which is running a 3-on-3 league. Be really, really good at that before you start offering some other things, because if you start offering tournaments and camps and things, you're going to be putting a lot of your time and effort into those, and now the leagues are going to suffer. So make sure you get your system in place for your 3-on-3 leagues first, and do a really good job at that before you start offering some other optional things that people might want to participate in. Another thing that gets brought up a lot is, should I offer concessions at my 3-on-3 league? And this kind of surprises people because, quite honestly, it tends not to be worth it, because the way that we schedule our 3-on-3 leagues is we want this to be really friendly for busy families' schedules. We don't want people coming to our league and having to be there for 4 hours to play 2 games. So when we build our schedules, teams are playing either back-to-back games and they're done and they're out of there, or they sit a game and they play. So in most cases, families aren't going to be at your field or your gym long enough to warrant like a meal or anything. So if you do concessions, you're probably really only going to need drinks like waters, Gatorades, and maybe some snacks, candy bars or chips, or things that can be kept until the next week. They're not going to go bad and you're going to throw them away. If you have to pay somebody to sit and sell concessions, you're really not going to be profitable with this. So the only time that we've done much with concessions at leagues is I've had my nieces come, they're little little basketball girls, and they'll run to Costco and they'll get like these big packs of Gatorade and water and candy and chips and whatever. And it's a little business for them. I don't pay them to be there. Whatever profits they make, that's theirs to keep. And that's what I've done with concessions at our leagues. Now, if you're running tournaments, that's different, because people are going to be there for a long time and you will make money with concessions at a 3-on-3 tournament. I'm wondering, do you guys have any other ideas of ways that you think you could generate some revenue running 3-on-3 leagues? If you've got any other ideas, I'd love for you to drop them down in the comments and share your ideas of things that we can add on to our 3-on-3 leagues that would help us generate revenue. Share your ideas. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how we built our 6-figure business running 3-on-3 basketball leagues, I would love to invite you to my training. There is a link below so that you can save your seat and sign up for this free training. And I'm going to teach you the 7 steps to follow so that you can launch and run and profit from your own 3-on-3 sports league. All right, so I hope to see you in the training.